My name's Fu and I'm the founder of Jekko News. I'm here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where infrastructure is something we all talk about. So I'm looking at a new company that's using big data, machine learning, with simple things like the cell phones in our pocket to map out the roadways and help governments figure out where they should put your tax dollar.
Yeah, so Roadbotics is about 3 years old, just a little bit over that now. We actually started at Carnegie Mellon University. The original group, so there was a DARPA project many years ago doing autonomous vehicles. One of my co-founders, Christoph Mertz, he was actually on that team working on that device. And his idea was that smartphones are this incredibly powerful sensor tech. And rather than using that for actually trying to figure out where the car goes, think about it instead for the infrastructure itself. So he thought about the first sort of application of using a cell phone to find cracks on a road surface in front of the vehicle. That idea then became Roadbotics. So we spun out of Carnegie Mellon, and ever since then have really been sort of scaling from there. So here you have Roadway. So this is our online platform for seeing all of the data that we offer to governments. On the map, green is good, so the dark green, those are good areas, and red is bad. So that's the worst kinds of distresses that you're going to see. So on the segment level, when you zoom in onto any one of these points, what we have is every single intersection to intersection has been rated by our machine learning and our data processing pathways that when you click on one of those, you can actually see the overall rating of that entire street. And now when we actually turn the points back on, you're able to actually look at every single 10-foot section of roadway with the associated image. So all of that's been rated by the algorithm. All right, yeah, so contrary to what most people talk about, right, America's crumbling infrastructure, that message plays out across the world, right? Every single citizen really has that same view on their own infrastructure. And one of the biggest things in trying to sort of prevent or reverse that trend is in better spending the dollars that we have. That's what Roadbotics does. We help to better understand the infrastructure that we have today by sort of mapping it out using technology. And then from that, we offer that to the government in a way that they can actually take that information and better allocate their own resources. About 6 months ago, we raised our Series A. It was a $7.5 million round led by Radical Ventures out of Toronto, Canada. Yep. Their big focus is all about how to use and deploy AI in all sorts of really interesting markets. So it fit very well with our infrastructure focus. Using those funds sort of as we've grown, the key capability for us is really bringing in in-house talent. So I think one of the most fascinating parts about working with roads is that normally people think about their personal vehicle, but you also have to consider all the other vehicles that are traveling on it. So those could be tractor trailers that are covering goods, that could be food for you, that could be home goods. So there's all these other types of vehicles, all these other services that are really utilizing that same road structure. It could be buses, so it could be moving people, it could be moving goods. That's really the really fascinating part here, is that by focusing on that type of infrastructure, you're actually able to help all of these other ancillary industries, making it both safer, making it more time effective, reducing sort of issues and things like that on that road surface.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.